Hey everyone. So in this video, we are going to talk about extension methods in C#. Okay. All extension methods. So now let's take an example. I'll create a string variable. Give it a name. All right. So now when I say name dot, so length is a property, replace is a method, right? Split is also a method. So now, yeah, so for example, aggregate, right? This is one of the example of a extension method, right? So extension method is, as the name suggests, right? So we are extending functionality of a class, but there could be a time, right, when you don't have access to a class, correct? It could be part of a library, it could be part of a framework that you're using, uh, but you want to add functionality to that particular class, right? So that's where we create extension methods. So the way to create extension methods is basically we have to create a static class, right? So I'll go towards the end of this. I think let's minimize this particular class. Yeah. So let's create a class here. So I'll create a public static class and I'll call it as string extension methods. So for each extension method, you have to create an extension, a method in this particular class, right? So that method also has to be a static method. So public static. So in this case, the method that I want to create is actually, let's know what I want to do is given a particular string based on, let's say based on any spaces that we have in a string. We want to tell like how many words are there in that particular string, right? So we want to call it as word count. This is going to return an integer, which is the count of the words in that particular string. Now, how we mentioned that this is an extension method to string is using this keyword and by providing the, just call it as str. Basically means that this is an extension method to the string class. Now what we want to do is let's say, so given a string, I want to split that string. So split is already a method in the string class. So I want to split. Basically we need a char array. So I can directly say new char array, and so based on a space, or yeah, for now let's just keep it simple, right? So if there is a space in a string, I'll probably just assume that okay, this is another word that's coming in the string. Okay, you could add like other delimiters as well. So I just want to add one like there's like one option, another overload and split method, which is called, I think it's called string. Yeah, split options dot remove empty entries. Okay, and then finally this is, so this split method is going to give an array of strings. So what I want is I want the length of that particular array, right? And then I can directly return this thing. I don't even have to store it in a variable. Okay, so now we have created that static extension method. So now what I can do is, so this name, so now if I say name dot w word count, right? So you see here in IntelliSense as well, we are seeing this method word count, and it says that this is an extension method. So this is how I call it. And let's say int count equals 2. So in this case, I'll just say n. So in this case, the answer should be 2. So let's run this thing. Yeah. So count is 2. So if I'll say probably blah blah blah, one more, in this case count should be 3. Okay, so that's all about extension methods. So just for a recap, we can create extension methods for any class. In this, right, it could be a class that's part of let's say .NET framework, or also any library, or a method that, or a class that you already own but you don't want to like add actual functionality. You just want to extend it, using extension methods. So now in this case, what you do is you create a static class, call it as whatever class that you want. Right? Usually it should be the class name and then like extension. That's how I name it. And then for each extension method that you have to create a static method, and then pass in that this keyword and the class, or whatever the class that this extension method belongs to, and then do whatever is supposed to do. And then finally you'll see that method is part of IntelliSense as well, right? Okay, that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.